to the Love is Blind reunion.
What is up, ELiens? It's Simply Elle, and I'm back again with another video. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by, and welcome to the ELiens gang. And if you are not new here, you know it's the regular madness. It's the regular madness. Thank you for coming back. As you guys already know from the title and the thumbnail, I'll be reacting to the Love is Blind Season 7 reunion. I hope you guys are able to bear with me. Don't forget to like the video if you like the video and to hit that subscribe button so that we can all stay friends.
Well, congratulations as one of our married couples this season. We both look forward to seeing you on the other side in one of our next reunions. We have some great footage of you guys in your last year of marriage, so let's take a look at that. This is Ashley and Tyler.
A lot of kissing. Yeah.
They have used kissing to clear her brain. Want if he kissing Bakbolomolowo? She no longer has any sense. They have used kissing to wipe her CPU. It's just unfortunate. All right, so the reunion is over. So I'm just gonna read off the notes that I took as I was watching, and I'm hopefully gonna make this pretty fast. Tyler and Ashley are still married. Go figure. Ashley claims to know more than us. Apparently, we are insulting her intelligence by assuming that she doesn't know everything. Tyler says that there's nothing that Ashley doesn't know. So I'm assuming that that means that Tyler told her about the 30K in child support and she's aware of the court date in November coming up. I'm assuming she knows about the woman that he owes money to. I'm assuming she knows about his 7 evictions. I'm assuming she knows everything that we know. And then it was her idea to now reenact it on camera, and then for Tyler to now lie that he didn't think they knew what he looked like. Y'all need to think about that again, because it's not making sense. It's not adding up. Tyler started off by saying that, first of all, those kids don't deserve this. Who are those kids? Assistant devil. Who are those kids? Are they not your kids? If you hadn't filed for custody and gotten in those kids' lives as their father, then they wouldn't be looking for you when you ghosted them. And none of this would have come out. If you were just a sperm donor like you want us all to believe, if it was just sperm donating something, then none of this would have ever happened. People who just donate sperm don't have this much baggage associated with it. He's talking about protecting the kids, protecting the couple. How were those kids protected when you left them for a year? Ashley wants us to know that she knows more than us and that she's accepted him full well knowing everything. I don't have much more to say because she knows more than us, so she has to know what we know and then more, Abby. So yeah, we'll leave it like that. It's her life. Like I said, let's not personalize what Ashley is doing. There are people who will see a trap and walk into it. You just have to remember your standards and things that you won't compromise on and things you won't accept. Ashley is Ashley and you are you. Then they moved on to Marissa and Ramses. If Marissa's mom could unalive Ramses, she would. Apparently, she wanted to punch him in the throat, but because of how her daughter felt, she still took some time to talk to Ramses. Marissa and Hannah were doing a lot of whispering, and it was during one of their whisper sessions that I heard her say that she feels like she hates him. Ramses didn't realize how hurt Marissa was until he watched the season back, and it's like, it reminds me of what he was talking about with his ex-wife, that he didn't realize how hurt she was until he spoke to some family members about it and all that stuff. Marissa's mom, even though she was upset and she looked like she wanted to kill Ramses, she still acknowledged that Ramses ultimately did Marissa a favor because they were just not compatible. And Marissa girl, I don't understand how you had all that energy for Nick and we didn't see as much vim for Ramses. Maybe it's because Ramses was also done. Like, Ramses looked like he was over this ish. Marissa admits to having relations with him after this, and Ramses just looked like he wanted to, he was chewing the hell out of the gum that was in his mouth. Like, they low-key kind of probably hate each other. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm sure after hearing that Marissa still was doing some Zilzwell things with Ramses, her mother was probably upset. Like, she's sitting here talking about I want to cut off his kinikon, I want to punch him in the throat, and you're still with him? You're still doing relations with him? Girl. Ramses clears up the contraceptive situation, that he didn't impose an ultimatum on her. They sat down, they had a very nuanced conversation and decided on a method that was best for the both of them, which was to continue having raw and tracking her cycle and her ovulation dates and all that stuff. That was how they moved forward. They moved on to Hannah and Nick. Hannah is just direct. I'm just direct. I'm just direct. I'm just direct, guys. I'm just direct. And she acknowledges that she can come off as a bitch. And I'm just like, okay, just saying, oh yeah, I know I can be mean, I can be this, I can be that, doesn't mean it's okay for you to just continue being mean, being a bitch. Even her hype man, Marissa, acknowledged that Hannah has been a bitch to her too, but that's just how she is. That's just how she is. Being a mean person or a bitch shouldn't be a personality trait that you are proud of. It should be something you're working to fix. But you're sitting here loud and proud. I'm just direct, guys. I know I can be a bitch sometimes, but I'm just direct. Anywho, Hannah eventually gives Nick a Bajensimi apology because Vanessa wanted her to say something along the lines of, I'm sorry. Sorry that I was rude to you. Sorry for the way I spoke to you. Sorry for saying XYZ to you and all that stuff. And Hannah just eventually said, and I'm sorry for being so cruel to you. Like, okay, damn. Here. Garrett applauds Nick for his patience because I think he would not have been so patient. Nick then goes and does something stupid, in my opinion, saying, I think Hannah's fantastic and she's getting a lot of hate. She doesn't deserve the hate that she's getting. Then Hannah now says, well, okay, if you think I'm so fantastic, why do you keep liking hate comments about me under your posts? The liking hate comments and all that stuff, I could care less about that. It's like, people are giving you hate comments for a reason, Hannah. It's not like they just decided to hate you. You gave them plenty reason, okay? I'm sorry. Then we get to a portion where Hannah says that she found a note after they broke up, I think. We find out that that's Nick's 90-day goals that he decided to start doing. His 90-day goals were to sell 2 homes in that year, to be in the best shape of his life, and to be the most famous person on Love is Blind. And Hannah says this helps her make sense of why he would be nasty off of camera and act super nice and gentle and meek on camera. I did mention a lot of people say Nick was nasty behind the scenes, but I think if he was nasty to you behind the scenes, the same way you said he shouldn't have put up with you for so long, you shouldn't have put up with him either. If you knew like, okay, I can't do this, then you break it off. Instead of the way you were speaking to him, your brother came into your house and called him a bitch boy, and you people laughed at it. That's a bit weird. Marissa begins the Nick was being nasty off of camera crusade, and it took a while to get one of the people that Nick said any of these things to say, okay, you said some things about her. This is after he denies the heck out of even doing this. He's like, I never said that. I never said anything about Hannah. I never said this. I never said that. Only for him to finally admit to saying that he was underwhelmed by her. That's all he would admit to. While Nick is very wrong for speaking about her the way he speaks about her off of camera, I still don't think that Hannah should have now resorted to doing what she did and saying the things she said. Like, a lot of what she said came out of nowhere. I'm just like, whoa. After admitting to saying the things that he said, Nick asks why Hannah would come over his place and hang out if he was so bad. And Hannah was like, no, not even Hannah. Marissa was like, because we all do dumb things. I was still effing this guy. I was like, what? This is when we find out that Marissa was still sleeping with Ramses. And the look on her mother's face was just like, girl. But yeah, so Marissa says that, and then Hannah, under her breath, thinking we can't hear her because girl, you're mic'd up, she says it's so she could F him one more time to make sure it wasn't that bad. She hasn't learned anything. Hannah has not learned anything. She's standing 10 toes down. I'm very direct. Let's directly move on. Leo and Brittany enter the scene now. And honestly, Leo is very performative. After being co-signed by Tim, this man proceeds to compare women to food. When they asked him how he felt about the way he handled the situation between Brittany and Hannah, instead of it was just say, yeah, I handled that pretty poorly. I was being super indecisive, blah, blah, blah. This guy goes, it's like you're at a restaurant and the choice is between pasta or steak. Who is pasta and who is steak? So the choice between Brittany and Hannah to him was like choosing pasta or steak. Yeah, no. Leo and Brittany had a good time in Miami. They couldn't get past some quirks. Quirks being that Leo likes to take a sip of her drink, even if they're ordering the same drink. He will take a sip of hers. Apparently, they were just not compatible. She shed some light into the reveal, saying that it wasn't Leo that made her uncomfortable and that it was the cameras of that, she was actually leaning to him for comfort, and girl, it just didn't look like that, but okay. She also said she wasn't surprised that they weren't picked because they were the weakest link, and production called it correct because they definitely did not last very long. So that was it with them. Then we get to Monica and Steven. Steven is in therapy. He feels that no one wants to listen to his side and no one would believe him if he told his side of the story. He was giving like, oh, woe is me, I'm so misunderstood. The situation with the sleep texting. Apparently, a girl texted him about a heart condition, but then all of a sudden, she switches and then she jumps to fetishes out of the blue. Like, these are the fetishes that I'm into now. And knowing that he probably shouldn't entertain this or engage in this, he was curious. He allowed his curiosity to get the better of him. So he's like, okay, what kind of fetishes are you into? Enlighten me on these fetishes. So they were speaking, and eventually he came to his senses and was like, I shouldn't be doing this. So then he put his phone down and concentrated on his sleep test. He mentioned that he doesn't have a password on his phone, especially in relationships, because if he's doing something, then he should get caught. And I'm like, why do you need to be caught in the first place? Why not just not do the thing? What therapist are you going to? Is it BetterHelp? Because you might have to switch. Monica still feels some type of way about the whole situation, and she's just not seeing it for Steven. They are not seeing eye to eye at all. She's still pretty upset. He apparently wrote a letter to her dad or to her family apologizing for everything he did and all that stuff, and he brings it up tonight, and Monica goes, see, I knew you only did that so you can say that you did it. And yeah, because I didn't need to know that you wrote her father a letter. We don't need to know any of that. He keeps doing this, yeah, I'm so horrible, I'm this and that and the third, I deserve everything that happens to me. Uncle, shut up. Stop doing the bad things. We have now reached Tim and Alex. This reunion solidified my dislike for Tim. I do not like that man. They shed a little bit of light onto what happened in Mexico. We did not get to see the video of what happened, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. But Alex informs us that a week before she left for the show, Alex's father was checked in to a rehab facility because of his MS, which is multiple sclerosis. She just was feeling down. She missed him. She hadn't seen him in a while, and she needed space. That was the beginning of that argument. She needed space, and Tim, because he loves and respects her so much, wants to know why. He said that even though he knew that it had something to do with her family, he still wanted to ask her what the problem was. She's telling you that she needs space, or she's letting you know that it has nothing to do with you. I just want to take a shower, go to sleep, and then revisit the situation the next day. Tim says it was because he loves her so much that he wasn't listening to her. I think if she didn't want to talk at the moment, if she needed some space, then you should have given her the space. It's not up to you to now impose yourself on her, saying, tell me what's wrong, tell me what's wrong. Speak. All she needs is a shower and to go to sleep. He's saying he's trying to give her what she needs, but you're not listening to her tell you what she needs. She clarifies that she did not physically assault him, and I'm glad she said this. A lot of people online have been trying to paint the covering of his mouth as a physical assault towards him. She clarified that tonight. I didn't know if she touched his face or if she just did this. Like, saying I covered your mouth is very open to interpretation, in my opinion. But this time around, she said she did not touch him. She just made a gesture. Tim does not disagree with this. So we can agree that that's what happened. People are trying to make it seem like she was violent towards him. They're like, oh, violence is involved. No, I never got that from that situation. But now you guys know, because Tim does not disagree that that's what happened. She also said that she prevented production from seeing the fight. So when I said that they didn't show us the video, it's because they weren't really allowed to film it. Alex somehow prevented them from filming it. And apparently she did this because Tim is a 225 pound, 6 foot guy, and any type of like is going to be seen as aggressive and stereotypical on TV. So because of that, she did not allow production to film that fight that they had. But she did say that production had to come in and calm him down. He doesn't feel like he was yelling at her. He rejects that assertion. He says that he was just projecting. His voice carries. And I'm like, sir, you were yelling. And because of this, she calls him a lol ass bitch. Some people say they understand that he probably was acting like a lol ass bitch. Listen, I don't know. I don't know if anybody calls me a bitch, like seriously, like you're calling me a bitch. I definitely don't take that lightly. So in that context, I can understand why it triggered Tim, but sir, in that conversation you weren't listening. Maybe she could have communicated better, but you also were not listening to her. When you need your space, you need your space, but when she needs her space, you must impose, you must find out what's wrong. She's told you that the problem is not you. I think that's the most important. Why don't you check on her in about an hour? He kept throwing out this love word and respect. I love and respect you so much, that's why I'm crossing all your boundaries. If you loved and respected her, you would give her that space, allow her to do what she gotta do, and check back later. Maybe you felt dismissed. Maybe you felt like, you know, I want to be your safe space. You have that conversation when she's ready to have it. He disrespects you and masks it as love and respect. It's because I love you so much that I'm doing this thing that you clearly don't like. I think he definitely held on to that thing that happened in Mexico. Her calling him a bitch ass, her calling him a little ass bitch. He wanted to kind of like get back at her, in my opinion. I think that's why he stayed with her. Once that argument happened, once she had done that thing that you felt like was a line you cannot take back, then you should have left her. It should have been over from that point. But no, you decide to go and see her father, make him cry, do all this grandiose performance, only to break up with her 2 days later, telling her you never want to see her again. But yet here she is in your face. He could have called it quits at the Mexico thing because he had every right to do that. Because he stayed with her, he was now looking for any small thing. That's why it seems so dumb, the reasons he broke up with her. Those reasons can't be substantiated because there's no merit behind them. After doing that big grand gesture for her parents, he then expresses doubt right after that. If you knew all this doubt before that you're now telling me, why did you allow us to go and do all this thing in front of my parents? And then now you want me to meet your parents, but you're having doubt. And while she was saying that, she did express that she said thank you for everything he did with her parents. So for everybody saying she didn't say thank you, you heard it here. She said thank you, and Tim did not dispute this. Speaking of Tim's parents, in a previous video I mentioned that Alex had somewhere to be after meeting his parents. It turns out that she had to go to work. She had to go bartend until about 3 a.m. So honestly, that nap was more than necessary. She had been speaking to his parents for 4 to 5 hours. Tim does not dispute this. She was going to work. She could not excuse herself for a nap. She also addresses her attitude when she met his parents. I've stated this in my previous video. She did not want to meet Tim's parents because, again, he expressed a lot of concerns and a lot of doubt that let her know that they were not at 100% and they were likely not going to get married. So it made no sense to her that she would be meeting his parents. Even with that, she still made the effort to hang out, have lunch with them for 4 to 5 hours, to the point where they concluded that she was a good girl for him to marry. I want to point out that Alex's story is consistent and Tim does not disagree with a lot of what she says. He's just looking for something to be mad at. Ever since the day that she called him a bitch, he's been looking for a reason. The only thing he really has against her was the Mexico thing, and that's when he should have called it quits. He didn't have to go and do all that for her parents. He didn't have to do any of those things that he was doing that weren't reciprocated. It almost seems like he's doing it just so he can say he's doing it. That was it. At the end, I honestly didn't think we needed all that end stuff with the season 8 people. I don't care about that. I haven't seen their lives, so why the heck so why should I care about them on this reunion? Even though bringing the old people back, honestly, I didn't care about that. Anywho, the reunion has happened and we really didn't get what we wanted, but they give us little crumbs here and there. Ashley's still Delulu. Tyler is still a liar. Tim is still weird as hell. Alex, maintain your steez. I love that you didn't back down. I wish good luck to Monica and Marissa. I wish good luck to Ramses in his future endeavors. I hope Steven is gonna change his therapist. I wish Garrett and Taylor all the best. Good luck to everyone else that I didn't mention. I'm kind of tired. It's 3 a.m. Alright guys, we have come to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the reunion. It was actually pretty fun to watch, but I do feel like they spent a lot of time on unnecessary things. But this season has come to a close. I look forward to seeing all the online discourse about the situation. Like the video if you liked the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so that you do not miss an upload. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
No,